All right, about to dive into the waters. So, with the continent of Africa splitting, it gets me to realize that the world is definitely shifting and changing, right? And the people that are in the know realize that there's a pole shift occurring, and that's gonna affect nature, us physically, spiritually, everything. But with the world literally changing in front of our eyes, I think it's crazy that there isn't more focus on the actual landscape and what's going to happen when it does change, right? Because I've spoken on the waters being portals. So not only are they opening up portals with CERN and doing all this man-made shit, nature is literally opening up its own portals. So all right, let's discuss the anatomy of the earth and what's going on. So we got plate tectonics in the ocean floor. The shape of the ocean floor is largely a result of a process called plate tectonics. The outer rock layer of the earth includes about a dozen large sections called tectonic plates that are arranged like spherical jigsaw puzzles floating on top of the earth's hot flowing mantle. Convection currents in the molten mantle cause the plates to slowly move about the earth a few centimeters each year. Many ocean floor features are results of the interactions that occur at the edges of these plates. And pay attention to the verbiage they're using. Like, this isn't just big ass pieces of rock crashing into each other. This is some deep shit. So the shifting plates may collide, but really converge, move away, diverge, or slide past, transform. As plates converge, one plate may move under the other, causing earthquakes, forming volcanoes, or creating deep ocean trenches. Where plates diverge from each other, molten magma flows upward between the plates, forming mid-ocean ridges, underwater volcanoes, hydrothermal vents, and new ocean floor crust. Transform boundaries are faults that connect two areas where plates are converging or diverging. So these plates are transforming, and in doing that, they're creating new life because these hydrothermal vents sustain life. These are like basically underwater mini suns, if you will, or underwater sources of energy that can sustain new life in a different area of this world. But I'm saying it's not even of this world. I'm saying it's coming from a new world, which is just the inner world that has been opened due to these plates shifting, converging, diverging away from each other, right? So it's like a door opening up. And these are physical doors because in my theory, Earth is on an infinite plane. It's a effects screen, if you will. That's why the Earth is majority blue and green, because Earth is ran off of special effects. But the effects are real, if you will. Like, there's matter to it. You can physically touch it, see, interact with it. Because where we come from previously, there wasn't that. We were just ethereal beings, and ethereal matter is just gas and light, which you can interact with and touch in a sense, but you really can't feel it physically, you know what I'm saying? So that's why Earth is so important, because this is a realm where we can manifest and do all that shit still in a physical way. Like, we could bring forth that shit physically and feel it. It's the lowest form of energy, but it's still powerful. So think about a being that's just so used to being high and being light and shining all the time. They're gonna want to experience the opposite. They're just gonna want to. It's natural for anything to want to know how something else is going, right? Or it wouldn't even have a soul or a conscience, in my opinion. So our light bodies did want to come experience this material realm. Even though we get down here and we start experiencing and living it, we're like, man, fuck this material shit. The ones that are woke, they're like, shit, I want to go back to the fucking, to the stars, to the heavens. This shit not it. This realm not it. But it is though. Like, you literally get to come down here and feel everything. And you still got access to the higher realms. It's just how disciplined will you be in this game, this simulation. You know what I'm saying? And we're in the age of knowing and having information, so the game isn't as hard to play. It's just about how knowledgeable and disciplined you can be, and then you can ascend. So, yeah, we are light, but we do indulge in the dark from time to time. So, hydrothermal vents. Deep ocean hydrothermal vent ecosystems were discovered in 1977, broadening our understanding of life on Earth. Previously, sunlight was thought to be the energy source that supported the base of every food web on our planet. But organisms in these deep, dark ecosystems have no access to sunlight and instead metabolize hydrogen sulfide or other chemicals in a process called chemosynthesis. Since this discovery, sonar, submarines, satellites, and robots have helped find and explore this type of ecosystem and other deep ocean formations around the globe. With only 5% of the oceans explored, many more scientific discoveries await our future generations of explorers in this final unknown frontier of our planet Earth. So they even explain it right there, like, Earth is it. Earth is the shit. This is the final frontier, and it's still so unknown, all the information that is out here for Earth. So keep in mind that just up until 1977, scientists literally was on some the sun got, and they are right. Our realm is ran off of sunlight, but they didn't know shit about the water. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know the ins and outs of life and what is life in the water. All they know is that that shit cover up a majority of the earth, and we only studied 5% of it. So with that being said, there's so many mysteries in the water that cannot be explained by conventional ways of thinking. You got to go back and really look at the records of what was going on back in the day and what type of things were in the water, what creatures, what animals, what societies, and kind of look at them like, damn, there might be some truth to this shit. So you got the city of Atlantis or Lemuria, mermaids, sirens, the Kraken. You got the Nagas. There's there's a lot of different story and culture going into the water and things disappearing into the water or whatnot. And I believe where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, there's something in these waters that people have seen or experienced. And water has memory. So water can take any form of any structure it enters, right? So that's water memory, is memorizing the structure and the form of that. And with the water being the memory and us being made up of mostly water, we get downloads from the water when we interact with the water and get into the water. So where is all this information coming from? How is it possible, right? So your consciousness, which is air, would be the broadcast. And then you have your soul, which is fire, is the signal, hence smoke signals and whatnot. Now, and with the water, that's your antenna. So water is a dipole molecule. So with the water being a antenna, that's how you receive and send out these signals and downloads and whatnot. But it's deeper than that, because that's what a portal is. A portal is just transferring matter or information from one place to another, or entering one place into another, taking your information and entering one place and going to the polar opposite side of that actual portal, right? So that's what's going on with all this water. It isn't just some shit we drink for substance in life. It's deeper than that. There's levels to this water shit. It even has levels and different forms it could take, from being solid to gas, vapor, boiling hot, freezing cold, you name it, right? So with the water, there's portals, and I think they output energy. You can see these Bermuda Triangle conspiracies. One of my favorites is that they were like souls of the African slaves that drowned, or the natives that drowned, and the different pirates and all that drowned are like pulling other souls to them, which is crazy. Sound like some stuff out of a comic book. But in reality, I think it's just that water has a powerful portal and field that just fucks up any electronic that goes in that direction, right? And that may be what's opening up in Africa over there, and it's split, right? But in the next video, I want to dive into Lemuria. I want to get back to the people of Mu and Atlantis, because my theory is that these UFOs aren't coming from the sky or space per se. I think they're coming from underwater, and they got bases underwater or portals underwater they go into, and that's how they come in to and from Earth or our plane. And we have different footage and people witnessing them ascending in or descending into the water and just disappearing, right? They're not flying up into space and disappearing. They're saying they're going into the water and disappearing. So we'll dive into that. And those might be the remnants of the Lemurian people or the Atlanteans that previously had technology that was advanced, and they might be hiding out, not, or maybe not hiding out, they just in another realm that's underwater, or the water is actually their portal, how they come to and from. And they might just be on our heels now because they see we ramping up for World War III. So we're seeing them more and more because they trying to pay attention to what's going on, because what we can do probably can affect their realm and their world. So it's getting deep in these waters, no pun intended.